person which was working for the government or for the housing company. And we did that on purpose because we wanted that the inhabitants of the neighborhood started to trust those people. Because if the process is over and the implementation of the plan is starting, they still had to trust the people who do the process. It worked out very well. There were 800 people who participated in the process. It was the closing evening. And the next, I wanted to share the next picture with you, because that little boy there's a large amount of people there were either Moroccan or Turkish, and the little boy there was explaining his parents all the time what was happening in that room. And at the end of the evening, I asked him what he wanted in this neighborhood, and he only wanted to play football. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's the Wildenbuurt. We have the Maasluiszone as an example. The Maasluiszone was this old apartments with some old houses, 4 layers in between. This is the next phase because the government had already decided that these houses are going to be demolished. But they asked participants to talk with them about the way that area should be planned with other houses and other. Okay, it's okay. We did that with NAI, which is an architect, and in the end it became, next year, 50 people participated, and in the end it was this. And that was done with scenarios, and yesterday someone told me about how you can do that with participation. So there were always 3 things to choose by 50 people, and we talked about what was good on the scenarios and what wasn't okay. And then in the end it was this. It took us 4 meetings to get here, so I think it's quite fast. The next example is an example of which I think you shouldn't take any participation of the people living there, because sometimes we also have the problem of people owning a house who can't pay for the renovation of it. So sometimes they become really, they have to be renovated. And then they get a letter from the government that it has to do that, and if they don't do that, the government will do it for them and they get a bill. And I think about 2 years ago in my neighborhood, there was one of the balconies falling down from the building. And there was such a publicity row that the government did much faster than they were supposed to tell the owners of these houses to rebuild it. But what's probably more difficult in your part of this city is that the housing, how do you call woningcorporaties? The housing corporations help them with it. They have the money to help them, and they have to pay back later, but they help them. Okay, the last one is a participation project in which information was the case. There's a roadway between Amsterdam and Almere. It takes, I think they're doing the A2 now. The A2 is an indicated roadways between Utrecht and Amsterdam. And the participation process there was about 15 years ago. That is the difficulty about participation in making a roadway which is in the backyard of people living there. So the government decided we organized the participation process which was purely information, but that made some of the people in the process extremely angry because they couldn't change anything in the plans. So you also have to decide before you start something like that, if you want to do it like that. The last idea is this one. If you start a participation project, decide in advance what you expect to do with the input of the people, and make a realistic estimation of what you can realize with their inputs. Use the key figures to find people who want to participate, and listen to them. I can't say that often enough. They probably have new stories to tell. Try to make the owners and users into a group with which you can cooperate. And don't think too big. Start in a part of the town where something is possible. Start something where you can think it's really going to be a success. And take care of your communication. The success of the first project is the basis of the cooperation in the next project. And it is a very slow process that road to a success in participation. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Wilma. Yeah, I would like to introduce as the last lecture for today, before we start the debate, Ole Bouwman, the director of the Netherlands Architecture Institute, and an institute I assume is probably the biggest in the world, which is dealing only with architecture and urbanism. Maybe I'm wrong and correct me, but it shows for me, as a German looking to the Netherlands, if I can make this little statement, also how much in the Netherlands this is an importance by the government, but also in the society about this issue of planning. And I think it has really, it's very respected as something very, very important. And this is not the case in my country, in Germany, not as much, though we are very jealous. And this says, I think we get the spirit even by the presentations we had before, how engaged the debates are going on in the Netherlands. And I think Ole Bouwman will tell us a little bit more from his position now as the director of the Netherlands Architecture Institute. He has been before the editor-in-chief of Volume magazine, the former Archis magazine, which is an international magazine, probably you know, which was creating an discourse, an urban discourse, which were opening up to issues all around the world regarding urban transformations. And a very important one, and he has been widely publishing on this issue, also in other magazines, and is editor of books and so on. You could read this in the announcement, and I would just briefly ask Ole Bouwman to give his lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you for reducing my role to run an institute which is dedicated only to architecture and urbanism. I try all the time to exceed the boundaries of these two disciplines and to talk about everything else as well. You know? To engage with the rest of the world and to act like a trafficker between the disciplines and society. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do tonight, to expand on a discourse more or less situated between architecture or the design field and the city, the global city, your city, our city, the European city. I think that's something to start with, to emphasize as a start. We are representing completely different situations, of course. Amsterdam, where I live, Rotterdam, where I work, and Prishtina, where you live and work. Hardly comparable, but we are both coming from European cities. And if there is one single value that we both represent, I think it's valuing the public. Like the key value of the European cities, valuing the public domain, valuing the public sphere, valuing the encounter between people, and using the public sphere in the proper way. So I think that's something which is very important to reiterate from the outset. Because that's the common ground that we can also base our debate on later on. And what I would like to do tonight is very simple. Show you a couple of slides, not about Prishtina, but about other issues. A lot about Holland, actually, a lot about architecture in Holland. But the main message is that what it is all about is to be able to speculate, to be able to redefine the issues. Not trying to solve the issues with the discourse, with the instrumentarium that created the problems before. You know, if you want really to solve the problems of today, you have to redefine the issues and to find new instruments, new tools, new skills, new words for the profession. I cannot handle the slides myself.
Yeah, maybe.
You? You do? Next? Okay. Let me just briefly show you the building of the Netherlands Architecture Institute, situated in the city of Rotterdam, that calls itself the City of Architecture in the Netherlands. To